Hey there, welcome to More Projects. This is Matt here. I have an '89 Honda Civic sedan that I'm doing a engine swap on, and this is my method that I use to keep up with all my nuts and bolts. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video to see the absolute best way to do this. But let's get started. The first method that I like to use is a cardboard box. So you can make you a diagram and put like an intake side and exhaust side, draw your cylinders, and then you can cut some holes in the box. I'd recommend cutting an X in the box for your little holes so that you can actually slide your bolts in easier. But this is one method to be able to keep up with different length bolts, maybe like for your valve cover bolts, head bolts, maybe bolts on the front of the car, just anything that where you think you're going to probably forget where they go in a week or a month from now. So, because there's so many different length bolts. So, and also sometimes you might have one that might be a little cross-threaded, so it'll be easier to put it back in the exact same spot. So, you can just slide your bolts right in those holes. And this is, the first method that I've used, and it works, but it's not the best. So let's go on to method number two, plastic bags and a Sharpie. So you can use Ziploc bags and you can label them and put lower control arms, suspension, whatever bracket you're working with. Um, this works. I mean, you can throw them all in there, but then you can stack them on top of each other, and then they're all mixed together. You don't have a clue where they're at. So, I mean, especially if you have like a full build that you're doing, you're going to have 50 bags. So the reason why I don't like using a cardboard box method is say you're working on something and here you are up under the car and you pour oil all over your box. Well, guess what? Now you don't have a clue where any of those bolts go to because it just ruined your box. It gets soggy and you lose them. Same thing with the plastic bag method. You're going to put these dirty ass bolts, excuse my language, but you're going to put these bolts in the bag, and next thing you know, over a month or a week or whatever, it's going to get dirty, and then you're not going to be able to read your writing, and then you're going to be like, man, I wish I would have done something different. So then we've always had a cup where when you're taking things apart, you just dump them all into a cup. And then you're like, okay, this is going to work for right now. I'm going to finish this today. Well, you're not. And then you're going to look for these bolts. And as you're looking for them, you're going to be, man, where did this go? I don't have a clue. And you're going to be, man, I wish I could have come up with a better method for keeping up with my bolts. So the best method I've found out is go to Harbor Freight. Go get you some of these organizers where they have the trays where you can move around the slots. And you can take and put, as you're taking everything out of your car, you can put your spark plugs, your bolts, your nuts, um, whatever you're working with, any plastic clips, and then as you shut it, you can write on the top of it with a Sharpie and say, this is the shifter. This went to the exhaust manifold. And just as you're just taking them apart, it takes 5 extra seconds to put the bolts in here and then write on top of it what it is. And so that you don't have a pile of, a bag of bolts laying around and that you don't have a clue where they go. So this is like a smaller box I got from Harbor Freight for a couple bucks when I did my mini me swap rebuild. So like I labeled my tensioner bolt, my oil baffle, my oil pan, timing cover, water pump, just all my pieces that went to that rebuild. I was able to throw them in here and it went so much smoother putting it back together. So you can get these at Harbor Freight for about $3 to $4, and then you can stack them. You can put them on a shelf. You can write on the side of them what they went to. You can say 91 Honda Civic or 89 Honda Civic, and then you can hang them if you really wanted to. And they keep well. And this is a really great method because you can put all different lengths and stuff, and then you can get you some carburetor cleaner because these things are reusable. You can spray carburetor cleaner on top and get you a rag, and then it wipes right off. So now you're ready for your next project. So I have maybe like 10 of these Harbor Freight containers laying around. So definitely go to Harbor Freight, go buy you some of these containers, get you a Sharpie, and any project that you're working on, you can keep up with your bolts and everything a whole lot easier. So stay tuned to seeing in some of my videos of me using this method. And also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe for more other how-tos, and stay tuned for more projects. And if you have any other ways of keeping up with nuts and bolts or a better method, make sure to put it in the comments. Thanks for watching.